niggas be crystalline. Yeah, hey. I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take your girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at teach, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, got ass be poking. Sitting in the front, cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.
I can't wait till I go on break so I can go on hard or soft.
Nah,
talk about nasty shit with Traum.
People love talking about they going on break, child.
I'm talking about work, dickhead.
Yeah, I thought this was work. This ain't work.
What obviously you told me you made me look like I was fucking crazy when I said I wanted to go on a break. I'd be scared to call out or fucking so shameless than I am my own real job.
I would think so too. You should be.
No,
when are you gonna be principal?
Principal of what? A school? I don't want to be a principal.
But when will you be? Because you don't want to do much, but you're going to. So I could definitely see
when I get my master's in school leadership. If I go back to school, I have to. I don't have no choice. I'm going back to school.
Why would you go back if you don't want to?
I have to to further my career. I don't want to be a principal though.
Why?
I want to be higher than that. Like if you
talk
talk
about
my
principal is average.
Bitch, no.
Trying to turn you into
no.
Eboni K Williams over here.
No, I'm not.
Is it
doing
mediocre?
This today. No, I want to be a superintendent. I want to be able to like make different types of decisions, but I don't think I want to be a principal. I think I will like cap at like a AP and then try to go beyond that.
You need a doctorate for a superintendent or just a master's?
No. A master's is fine. You don't have to be a doctor.
I'm trying to get
be a super. You trying to do what?
Get my MBA.
For what?
I work in hospital operations, so trying to run the hospital.
Dope.
Yeah.
You gonna be like
New Amsterdam shit.
He gonna be like, what's his name? No, from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I don't watch Grey's. I watch New Amsterdam.
Who you talking about?
The old guy that was messing with the green-eyed kid's mom.
Nah, I can't remember.
Nigga, what?
Y'all don't watch.
I used to watch it with my ex, so that's why I'm like.
Your ex? Which ex? You have exes?
I just broke up with maybe like
4.
Whoa.
A month ago, and she's already an ex.
You breaking up with people at your age?
And you already on the streets.
With it.
And he's in the streets.
Nah, you gotta see it through, my guy.
Nah, honestly, I don't. I felt as if I would have. It would have led to more heartache in the future.
For who?
For who?
Both of it. Well, for me, it was a lot of.
You know, we're recording.
I'm fully aware.
Yeah.
For me, it was.
Please tell us more.
For me,
of your business.
She was a lovely young lady. I just felt as though we weren't on the same page. Like I'm.
No, I don't want to talk about this.
Good.
I do.
Say no more.
I was about to ask mad questions.
What did you do right in your last relationship?
What did I do right?
Per you.
I was very nurturing. To someone who I felt as though needed a lot of nurturing. Like
when she was a child.
No, but she's not very familiar with relationships. Period.
Does she agree with that, or are you saying that?
She would agree with me.
What did you do wrong in your last relationship?
Is that a longer list?
It's not a longer list. I felt I should have not started the relationship.
Damn, nigga. What does that mean?
I there were things that I saw before we started the relationship that I felt as though made me feel like I should have never made it official. And me doing.
So did you hold it over her head the whole time?
No, I never held it over her head. But however, I felt as though me being with her for the amount of time that we were, even though I always had doubts, only led her on. So when I finally left, it was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Like, why did you? I don't feel like I wasted her time because I really did put an actual effort into it.
How long were y'all together? How long were y'all together?
We were talking for 2 years.
Talking?
Damn. Hold on. We were talking.
What kind of conversation is that?
Hold on. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm agreeing with you. That's a long time. That's a long ass conversation. Because during those 2 years, when I started dealing with her, she was celibate. So for 2 years,
this shit is loaded.
She must have been fucking amazing. You fucked with a chick that wasn't not having sex at all.
Somebody told me this the other day and was like,
and you're blaming her?
She's doing. Listen.
She had to be amazing. You just said, yo, she wasn't this when you met her. She wasn't that when you met her.
No,
she was celibate and you was still dead ass.
I was dead ass because of the fact that I knew her since I was 19.
Okay.
I knew her since I was 19, and I like she wanted to date me for a very long time.
Oh, she wanted you.
She wanted you. So you the prize.
Yo, this is not.
I am the
I'm
prize.
telling you right now, leave this podcast right now. Because we are on. Yo, we smell blood, nigga.
Do you think?
We're sitting here. It's like.
Listen,
You smell that?
That's fine with me. That's fine with me because I'm an open book. Like I won't talk bad about her,
Right.
Because that's not like, I won't.
You sure?
No, I'm positive. Like I said, she's an amazing woman. Very successful. I think she's more career oriented than relationship oriented, and I think that had a lot to do with.
Would you think that she's a masculine woman?
No, she wasn't masculine at all. She was just very.
Help me, Jesus.
She's very inexperienced. Very inexperienced.
The only reason I asked that is not to put words in your mouth. It's because I was listening to the Ebony. I did listen. Trav sent me all of the clips of Eboni K Williams from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
And Ilyana spoke on
Ayana.
Ayana. Well, it's a lot of words and
Ayana.
letters and
People
consonants.
Ayana. Just say
They're not
Miss
put in the right
Van
place.
Zant.
That can't be the way her name's
Just
supposed
say
to be.
Miss Van
Why is her
Zant.
name all over the place?
I didn't
Who
name
puts
her.
her
a lot,
name together
yeah,
like that?
yeah, it's
What's
a lot-
wrong
it's
with
a
her?
lot of
Well, she said
syllables.
she's Native American and African, so maybe I don't know the
So you don't
combination.
know Ayana?
I Lolana. Anyway,
Y'all are so disrespectful.
I got an African Swahili name too. My shit's fucked up too. So from one fucked up name to another, and then Tahoe's kind of Indian.
Tahoe's definitely Indian.
Ooh. So I have
We
a
ain't
right. I
never
have a
getting
right.
off
I have
this
a
fucking
right to
couch.
do it. My
We're
name's
never
in
getting off this couch.
So she-
and I'm so fucking tired of being here. This is crazy, son.
it. You don't want to be on the
is a
average
nice couch,
podcast.
This is average. This is fucking mediocre at best. Because this is nuts.
So, what's her name?
Ayana.
Ayanla. What is it?
Oh, it's Ayana?
It's an L. Y'all
It's a-
can't
it's an
spell.
end?
I thought it was Ilyana. Or
Ilyana.
something like that.
Now niggas can't read.
Oh, I gotta find her name.
It is Iyanla. If I am not mistaken.
But why? It's my problem.
I didn't
put
name
that
her.
Say that.
Ayanla.
Ayanla.
Okay,
Yes, Ayanla Van Zant.
All right, beautiful older young lady.
All right. That's 2. Keep going. Keep going. Let's do it. Come on. I see it. I see the vibe. See, Tahoe, he sets the vibe. I come in on one thing. Like, I come in on one vibe. I just want to come in here, laugh and joke. I just want to chill. And then he has a completely different vibe in his head. And once this shit press play, it's raps. Fuck my vibe. So now we here. Go ahead.
Said that women nowadays are carrying themselves as if they're men. They're making great men. She said her mother. She said she was a great
father and a terrible mother.
She was a great father and a terrible mother. And she said that, in a way where she was speaking about herself and basically projecting onto the society as it is, that a lot of women are more career oriented or more thinking instead of feeling. They're moving more on their thoughts and trying to be a boss and trying to be a what'd she say? Trying to be a boss or trying to be a diva. Than actually trying to be a woman and living in your divine energy, which is really what's fucking up everything. Yes. And that's just on her. She didn't really spend much time on what men are doing wrong. So there's a lot of things that I'll say that I think men are doing wrong as well, which is more so what I believe Ebony was speaking about.
Yeah, but as from what we know of Ayala Van Zant, and for me being somebody that has known of her since I was a child, because my aunt was like a big Oprah Winfrey fan, and she used to frequent the show just like Dr. Phil. Then they both got their spin-off shows. I read her book when I was a kid. My mom and my aunt bought it for her, so I understand like she's very much centered on speaking to women as a woman, and she does not really speak on men because she's not a man, so she cannot. She feels like that's not her lane.
I appreciate that though, because
more people should do that.
Yeah. I agree with that. There's a lot of women.
I just said more. I didn't say you in particular. I just said, it's a wise thing to do. You're not a man.
That's very true. I mean, I feel like
you might want to stay out of this one.
Me?
Nothing. Go ahead. What
I was talking about not y'all. I was talking about Ilyana. You know what I mean? I was talking about
not Ayana. Just say Van Zant. Just call her Van Zant.
Miss Van Zant.
Yep.
Miss Van Zant. I like
Kung Fu dude. What's his name? The Kung Fu dude.
Oh, Mr. Miyagi. Oh no, never mind.
The Kung Fu.
I'm talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme. What about him?
Right, Mr. Miyagi comes. Where did you get that? Are you high?
Nah, not yet.
All right, what are you saying, brother? Rich. Your name is Air Max Rich. You are from the Keep in Mind podcast.
As you guys can see right here.
Yes, he wore his shirt. Who's that on your shirt?
You ever seen that meme with the dude that goes like this?
Smart.
Oh,
Yeah,
why doesn't it have no eyes?
I drew it out. I took out the eyes so that way it wouldn't be like identifiable, so he couldn't be like, oh, that's me. Blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
so you just say it. It's him.
I mean, you can't do nothing about it.
Oh,
now,
this is gonna be a great episode
his
today,
eyes are
bro.
going.
We're using our thinking caps.
Because his eyes are going. It works actually.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Rich,
It does. It does.
Stop falling into the trap. Just
Hey, listen.
rise above.
Air Max Rich. I ran into him. He was one of the greatest guests from the dating game.
Okay, cool.
The situationship page brought him on as one of the
Contestants?
No, he was one of the main people. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the main.
I was like the one choosing the girls.
Oh, choosing.
While he was in a relationship because he just broke up a month ago, and that was like 5 months
Actually,
ago. So
that was not 5 months ago. And 100%, I was not in a relationship.
what are you saying?
Just to make it clear,
Stop.
No,
You
it's
gotta
fine.
stop.
I'm not with her, so I can say what I want.
All right, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Doing anything. It's
It
only
was
been
just
4
a
weeks.
situation.
It was a situation shit. Like no, honestly,
That's
I was
crazy.
going on that show. Actually, was the biggest thing for my podcast at the time.
Yeah. So
Me and my shorty was on rocky terms, and I remember even though we were on rocky terms, I specifically said to her, "Hey, I want to go do this dating thing. I'm not gonna take the girl on a date or anything like that, but I do want the exposure and all that different stuff." And she was like, "Well, we're not together, so do what you want."
You know, I actually had a Melly. What is the show that they wanted me to come on?
The one with Tamar and Lil Wayne's. Damn, I forgot what it's called.
The Little
The
Wayne's.
Queen
What's her name?
Court something.
Queen's Court?
Queen Court. Yeah, they was about to fly me out. They wanted me to be on the show.
Why you didn't do it?
And I told Tanae I was gonna do it, and I was like, I'm just be single, and she's like, all right. So it was like, we're gonna just break up in public, and I'm gonna just go down there and do the show. Don't worry. And then I don't know if I spoke to you. I spoke to somebody.
When you speak to me, I ain't know
And
nothing
I was
about
just
this.
like, her kids, they're gonna see it. I just felt like I was going against. I just felt like it was wrong. Like I'm selling my. You're obviously going to dating game. It's not the same as going on fucking
on TV.
Will Packer's show.
Yeah, that's different.
And selling myself as a person that's going off for Evelyn Lozada and fucking Navia.
It's all acting though, from what I know. Like, I mean, some of them.
No, actually, they got married.
Yeah, two.
They're engaged.
Yeah, and then you'll hear like a week or two later that it's not working out. Like it's always like that. Like something always goes wrong, and then they have to do part two.
I just felt like it was wrong. I feel like I didn't want to sell myself to something so cheap. Not that you did.
Thanks.
This is fucking insanity.
I mean, if it's called selling myself, oh well, I did it from. I have two other dudes that I do my podcast with. If it leads to success for us, then cool.
Fuck
I'm,
it, right?
I'm not gonna sell my soul, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I'm
Like,
selling my time.
yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I'm
I'm
not.
swear to God.
So you have
so
a
what we
podcast
saying?
that's 3 men,
Yeah.
and y'all bounce good ideas or bad ideas off of each other.
We bounce all ideas off each other, good or bad. I mean, we're not, like I said earlier before the show, I was talking about how we're not red pill. We don't attack women.
Okay.
So we're not like, I'm not.
Red pill. Who's that?
Red pill is like, choosing the red pill, like,
Oh, okay.
like being like Kevin Samuels and all the.
Chill. Not too much on my fave. Not too much.
I like Kevin Samuels personally. Me personally, I thought I liked what he had to say. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people could have taken some time to actually listen to his videos instead of just always watching the viral ones.
Yep.
Because the viral ones are, people like toxicity, but if you watch his whole show, there's a lot to it.
Eboni K Williams spoke about that as well.
Yeah.
With the Ivanla
Ayanla.
yes,
Ayanla, there we go, Ayanla.
clip. Do you think that if your woman was more? Now you said she wasn't masculine presenting, like as far as her energy or whatever. But you think if she was more feminine?
I think if she was more like me personally, like I'm Haitian. My mother wasn't very affectionate, so the woman I date has to be somewhat affectionate. And I feel like because she was Haitian and was raised very similar manner where you don't hear, like I remember asking my mother one time, like, how come you never say I love you? And she was like, I didn't really hear it growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I get that.
and I feel like she would experience the same thing. So I can't necessarily be with somebody who
You want to be baby?
I don't want to be baby, but I'd like to be.
I want to be baby.
I don't want to be baby.
I would love to be baby. Hold my head in your lap.
I like that.
Rub my back. Do you need something?
I don't-
Would you like your feet rubbed? Yeah.
That
Here,
stuff
hey,
nice.
I sent you food to your job. It's on its way. Yes.
Well, okay, stuff like that.
Mad gifts under the tree for Christmas. Baby me. Yay! Yay! That's what I want. Yay! Yes. I fucking guilt tripped it. Look at this amazing fucking wine cabinet, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this fucking beauty. I did that. I cried for that. I whined
to get the wine.
Yes. See what you just did. Keep in mind podcast, everybody. Keep in mind podcast, everybody. I see what you just did.
This is fucking anarchy right now. This is
So you sure you don't want to be baby?
Huh? No, I don't want to be baby because my mom. I was raised by a single mother. I tend to want to provide for my woman. I'm just talking about as far as emotionally and like affectionately, like that. In that sense, I guess I want to be baby, but I don't.
So you do want to be baby?
I don't want to like my girlfriend.
scared to say it?
But no, I don't want.
It's all right. You say it. It's me. Don't worry about her. Do you want to be baby or not? Yo, look.
Yeah.
I want to be baby too. I want to be baby too. Come on. It's just here. It's two of us against her. What's she gonna do?
I'm cool.
gotta stop.
What is she gonna do?
She's not gonna do anything, but I'm cool.
I'm
not-
sorry,
I'm not
everybody.
gonna
I'm
do
in a
shit.
great mood. It's Cinco de Mayo.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to this
You
wine.
motherfuckers, you black people. I love how y'all do yourselves. Shout out to black people. Give me a good round of applause, black people. Celebrate. We celebrate every holiday but our own. Shout out to y'all. Hey, shout out. Come on, Mexicans. Come on. Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. You motherfucking
I have
people
a
do not
career.
like
I'm
y'all.
not doing this with y'all.
They don't come out for none of y'all shit. Y'all run around. Y'all drink Jorge Huzas.
Jorge Huzas. Please make that the episode name. Jorge Huzas.
And they don't do shit for you. I never seen no Mexican at Black History Month. Well, that's wrong. Black Lives Matter, I meant. They don't come out and be like, "Kiki." I'm just saying, I'll be outside. I don't see them. But y'all drink up all the tequila y'all want. What?
So
Am I wrong?
you've never celebrated Cinco de Mayo?
No.
You never gone to the bar on Cinco de Mayo? Nobody was like, "Yo, pop out."
If I'm chasing pussy, I'll go where the pussy's at.
Gotcha. That's always
I'm not
always
going
good
to celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
look. It's always a good look.
But I also just think that we weak. I think we weak people. I think we talk about being proud and all this shit, but we do everything. We let people go everywhere. You go to DR, go to Costa Rica, go to anywhere else. You been to Africa? Motherfuckers don't go. Motherfuckers don't go nowhere near their people. They are nowhere near their people. Don't give a fuck about their people.
Loud and
They just
wrong.
go anywhere the fuck else.
Okay.
Mexico. How many? Every black person's been to
So
Mexico.
you
Not me.
so niggas don't go to Africa. Niggas don't
Ain't
go
go
to
to
South
Compton.
America.
Don't go
They
to
don't go to
Compton.
Ghana. They don't go nowhere.
A lot of people don't though. A lot of people don't.
It's a fad. It's a fad now.
It's a
I ain't gonna
fad.
lie. Most black people that go to Africa in the past, lately it's become trendy.
Yeah.
Where your parents or grandparents that go to walk to Mecca, or people that actually are into those type of things, and respect to those people, those are the ones that I respect. I actually would love to follow that. I've said I want to go to every fucking country in Africa. I know I don't have much time left, but I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that before going to fucking London or goddamn Paris or any of the fucking white country. Iceland. What are you doing in Whiteland? What are you doing? Santorini. I'm in Greece. I'm in Rome. Why?
Nigga, I'm going to Santorini. I don't give a fuck what you.
You going to
It's so
Santorini? You going to
beautiful
Santorini
here.
before Africa?
before? Yeah, shit cheaper.
Africa's pretty cheap from what I heard.
The fuck is not?
It
No, I mean
is.
to get there. That flight to Africa is like $2 bands.
I know.
Flight to Santorini, that shit $430 something.
Yeah.
That's not what I heard because I just paid
Look it
for.
up.
I just went to a cruise on. I just went to Uber Soka cruise, and I remember my boy that I was going with. His wife was going to Africa, and her trip was cheaper than ours.
Look it up. Look up a flight to Ghana.
What part of Africa?
It depends on where you're going. Absolutely.
I'm not sure what she was.
Look up a flight to South Africa, to Ghana, to Nigeria. Cause just to go to fucking Guyana, that shit is a couple bands, and that's a different whole
Oh,
continent.
That's so
Guyana?
funny. Was
South
I
America?
at?
Yeah, some of my family's from.
Miko just reposted me at her Cinco de Mayo party.
Look at that, the
so-
one that you was at in LA a couple years ago. See how niggas was be
Were you
long?
chasing? Were you chasing tail then?
I was chasing tail. I ate pussy in the pool.
Nice.
Ever eat pussy underwater?
No.
Nice.
Exactly. All right, let's get to this. Would any all right. Where do I want to go with this? There's so many different points to be made.
Okay,
I thought the Eboni K Williams moment that we've had this week, it held value. I think it held value.
Really?
I think there's a lot of different things to it. For one, I don't really like to refer to women as feminine or masculine. I'm glad it were women that was having the conversation. I think that there's a little context to be added when it's an older black woman that's speaking on the younger black woman and speaking as to them moving a certain way that she doesn't approve of. I think that's something that happens a lot. And I don't think that the young black women actually enjoy it. But do you agree with the things that Miss Van Sant?
Yeah,
Sant?
in totality, 100%.
So you do think that you guys are moving masculine?
Yeah, I agree.
And should be a little bit more feminine in the way that you present and behave.
Yes, I agree.
You're
In
right.
totality.
What are the steps to doing that?
I see it.
What are the steps to doing that for women as a whole?
I don't know. Like, all right, so watching all of this back and feeling the way that I felt about it, I heard your voice in my head. And I heard your voice in my head because you always say, like, Daj, you speak for women. You have to speak for women. You have to speak for the women. And I'm just like, no, the fuck I don't. I only have to speak for myself. But seeing the effects of speaking for yourself without kindness and without understanding, I see how that can like explode. Sometimes I'm the type of person I gotta see things in a different way. So I want to preface that by saying that. So I don't have that answer in totality. I can just speak on the steps that I'm trying to make to be less masculine myself, because masculinity in a woman is a defense mechanism to me. And I understand the root of that defense mechanism and why I had to adopt that defense mechanism. But now at this point, at 33, I don't want that no more.
Soft life. We're talking about the return of the soft life.
Soft life, femininity, housewife, take care of me. I want to I don't want to bake cookies. I'm not really into that. I want to like make fucking flavored margaritas with little cute salted rims and sugar rims.
Y'all tired of drinking Hennessy?
I've been stopped drinking Hennessy. Like I feel like I let the cape down years ago. And I used to say this years ago on this podcast. Like, I'm not Superwoman. I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here to fix everybody's problems. I'm me. I should be catered to. I should be doted on. And I should be treated like a woman. I'm not a man.
I want to know one thing. Defense mechanism being the thing. Mm-hmm. When was the need? Did women, I don't know, I'm not, versed on womanhood. Mm-hmm. When did the need for the defense go up? Was it the 80s, 70s, 50s, 90s? Was it Lil' Kim? Was it Beyonce? Was it Say My Name?
I think it was the 80s. I think it was the 80s. I think it was the 93 crime bill. I think it was crack. I think it was a lot of black men being taken out of their homes. I think it attributes to the rap culture.
So it's relatively new.
Bitches ain't
in this
shit with holes
lifetime.
and trick. Yeah, like this is within our generation. My generation caught the tail end. I think your generation did it, and I always say that y'all generation is one that fucked everything up.
Rich
Can I
has
ask you a
something to
question?
say.
Do you feel like it's the same for white women?
I don't give a fuck about what white women do.
I'm not asking if you cared. I'm asking, do you think it's the same?
Do I think it's the same in what way?
Like, do you think white women have to be make that defense mechanism and be masculine like black women?
No.
What's the difference?
I think because I feel like she hit on it. I feel like it was the feminist movement that led to a lot of like you said, where they're teaching women, oh, you can do this on your own or whatever. Meanwhile, during that cold crack epidemic, black people were being removed from the home. They said, I forgot the percentage number, and I don't want to say it and be wrong, but supposedly after the feminist movement, the black before the feminist movement, the black home was a 2-family home majority, and then after the feminist movement, majority it was a single family, a mother-led home.
Do you think it was the feminist movement, or do you think it was the drug era?
Well, The thing is, I'm like
The crack era.
I don't know because I was living in Long Island and I don't know how hard that hit Long Island. From like jokes like Dave Chappelle, were we really using crack as much as they say, or was it often portrayed that way?
That shit was dropped off in a community, sold at like $5 a fucking thing, a vial, and you get hooked on that, and then it's raps. You stealing TVs and shit out your mama house. Like, it was nasty.
I'm not saying that
it was a nasty time.
Yeah, I'm not saying people didn't get hooked on crack, but was the number or the prevalence of it really as high as they say it was?
I don't know, but I know that the laws and legislations that was made around it was more problematic than
the actual
what
crack.
happened.
Yeah.
I
Right?
want to say that crack affected almost every household. Besides that were
Or heroin.
middle to low.
Okay.
And even maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 of middle to high.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think
We're
like I said, I
talking
wouldn't
about
know.
whether it was the dealing, whether it was the relative, whether it was,
The violence around
whatever
the
it may be,
neighborhood.
whether it be you, right? Somebody doing it affected everything.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say everybody was doing crack, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say if you were doing drugs at that time, it was a good possibility that you did crack.
Probably
Yeah.
sprinkled it in your
You
your
with
bud.
smoking weed,
Woolly
smoking
blunts.
weed, right?
Yeah,
Smoking
all
weed
that
with it because you
shit.
didn't know the effect of it. You know,
Yeah.
so a lot of niggas were smoking woolies.
Yeah, I've heard every dude I know that said that they ever smoked the woolly blunt back in the day from my brother's peoples. They'd be like, it was a girl that made me do it.
It just
Always a woman that'd be like, yo, let's just
Because it was like extra fucky.
extra fucky.
extra
Like,
fucky.
Yeah, that's no other way for me to put that just now.
Fucky.
But I
Write that down. Extra fucky.
That's a good one right there.
I don't know. I can't speak to white women, but I do feel like I want the best for us and our people, and I feel like the best for our people is for us to come together. And it's such a divided and a divisive time. Morals are at an all-time low. Standards are at an all-time low. And it's just a very weird place and space for the black family, the black home, the black community, and moving forward. And I don't know what to do about
I
it.
find it so interesting. You and I spoke briefly, and I said, "Wait a minute, don't say shit till we get on the show."
Yeah.
I said, "Did you agree with what Eboni K Williams said?" Or I said, "Did you think it was that bad?" I can't remember the way I framed it.
Something like that. But I said it, yeah, it was.
You thought what she said was bad,
Yeah. I feel like all around.
and I thought I
the
agreed
opposite.
with her.
Yeah, you agreed with her.
And
Do
I'm
you
a
still
blue
agree
collar
with her
worker.
after watching everything?
Yes,
How? You agree with her also?
I think that working blue collar is average. I think that I don't like. So this is what happened, right? I mean, I'm give you a little. I'm gonna give you a little perspective.
Okay.
I get this job at sanitation. I'm gonna start becoming a great father. Like I'm starting to do my thing, and I go to my grandmother's house. I'm a felon, but I finally got my shit together. I got all my kids with me. I'm paying bills. You know, my mom got cancer. I'm taking care of her house. I feel accomplished. Like I made it. And I go to the matriarch of my family. It's 10 aunts and uncles. At the time, I believe all of my aunts and uncles were still alive. And I said to her grandmother, she's like, "What's going on with you?" And, you reporting back to your grandmother around that time.
Yeah.
And, I said, "Well, I got this job at sanitation. My daughter lives with me now. I'm doing things." And there was a time when my family, I'm not going to say they turned their back on me. They're very disappointed in me.
Yeah.
And, I was like, I'm doing good, Grandma. And everybody was, "Go, yes." Everybody at the table was clapping and shit. And I was just good, man. I'm eating my fucking collard greens with the star. Oh, I'm the man now. I'm here. And my grandmother said, "I'm proud of you. But is that your life's purpose? Because I know you, and you've always been creative, and you've always had something special. So don't sit and rest in this and let this be who you are. I want you to find your purpose, and I want you to go with it." And it was after that I started creating these shows. It was after that I started seeing myself. I said, "Yo, how am I going to affect the world? What are they going to say at my grave?"
Right.
And so, do I think there's anything wrong with being a blue collar? No. Do I want more for our men And the fact that what she's saying of the women are kicking our ass. And we look at the way they speak to the women. Like, all I got to do is go to one of your clips. These low level thought patterns. Mm-hmm. I can imagine how they're affecting their communities. It's below average. And it isn't even about the job. It's about where you see yourself. What are you doing? Where do you place yourself in this world? If we were to have more value, if we saw ourselves differently, we would be affecting the people we love. And y'all watch this fucking whole neighborhood fucked up before white people came here. Mm-hmm. It's the same houses. We owned them all. We left beer bottles by every tree and crack bottles on every fucking stoop. And yes, I want better for my community. So when I paid that, did I think that her wording was wrong? Yes, I understood. But would we be having this conversation without it? And she said that she's a professional disruptor. She knows what she's doing. Mm-hmm. And to me, I understood the message that was in.
I agreed with her in the sense that, very similar to what he said. I think the message was good, just the delivery was off. I think that I'm one of those people that always strive for better as well, and like I have friends who are very complacent. They'll have like a regular ass job, and it's like, oh, this is good, and it's like you don't strive for more. Like me personally, like I've never held a job unless it was like a management job. I've never held a job for more than 2 years. After 2 years, it's time to move up. If you're not moving me up, it's time to go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when she's saying what she said, like, I get that DJ Envy was saying there's a lot of people hurt from it, and it's like you should be more hurt that you're okay staying complacent. That you should be, like, in my opinion, like.
You should, Dodge. I like this.
You know what I mean? Like
on the other side.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I wasn't necessarily mad at what she said. I like, she just made it seem like working in a lower position is horrible in the sense of saying it's okay to be in that position temporarily, but you should want more. That's how I feel. Like, you should. I didn't
think that she said it was horrible. She
said black people. She said we strive for excellence, and that's mediocre or that's below average and all that. I feel like
she said we occupied the lower that job system, and why is it that we disproportionately occupy that?
That's true.
It's okay. It's like, you know, some of the things that she said when her clap back was unnecessary.
The clap rap was nasty.
It was unnecessary, and I think that it kind of ruined I think that Weezy. Brilliant. I think that Weezy was brilliant in that. And that's not to say anything bad about partner. I just think that Weezy, when she spoke about the impact of that particular clip, was like, yo, you nailed it. There was no reason for you to go that hard. And to do that when there was a way to uplift, you kind of went down.
You
know
doubled down on it.
And Weezy, she coined that really well. Just brilliant.
Can I ask you, how do you feel about, how important was it to you that they mentioned that her fiance was white?
See, that's before we go there.
Okay.
That's different. That's a different.
Before we go there, there's so many layers to this.
That's why we're doing basically this the whole.
I figured that. There's so many layers to this that I feel like we need to peel back. We need to start from the original. Mm-hmm. And I don't know Eboni K Williams, so I'm not going to discredit her explanation of her words. What I am going to say is what I thought, what I saw based off of words and body language. When Iyanla asked her originally, would you date a bus driver? She, to me, dismissed the question as if she wasn't in a one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, the way she
was very much like,
did you?
It was given like,
I don't even think she heard it.
Like, I dare you actually.
Me? Right. And then she literally said, who, me? It's just the two of y'all here, baby. Mm-hmm. She's not talking to nobody else. And then she said, very smug and arrogantly, if he owns the bus, cool. Hold that. Let's hold that right there, right? That alone, I find to be problematic. Not for her. Right? You can have the standards that you have. You can want the things that you want. You can have the preferences that you have. But the message that sends out to everybody else is, that this job is not good enough, because a lot of us, we don't have those cognitive abilities, like, and it starts in school, right? Like, niggas didn't really take school seriously. You're not really comprehending things well. You can't look at it and say that's how she feels about her. People are internalizing it and is spewing it back on the internet. Yeah, she's right because that's not good enough, and ... Like, ma'am, you're a bus driver too. Relax. Right? So within that, the way I feel is, I feel sometimes as Black and brown people, we put more value on the job than the person. And that's what Ayanla was saying. Ayanla was like, if he treats me well, if he treats his kids well, if he treats his mama well. And that's the thing, because I feel like if somebody was to come to me and be like, Dodge, would you date a bus driver? And I would be like, well, what is he like? What, like, how is he? Because I'm not with you when you driving that bus. I'm with you at home. So your value should not be in your job. Your value should be in who you are. Because I was one of those girls that I felt like certain jobs was beneath. And the richest nigga I ever dated to date was the worst nigga I've ever dated to date. Well, going after these quote unquote 6-figure niggas, go ahead. I hope y'all got the skin for that, because them niggas ain't shit. Because they feel like they have the money, so they don't have to do all the other things. They don't have to be nurturing. They don't have to be catering. They don't have to be honest. They don't have to be sensitive to your thoughts and your feelings. Like, they can buy you out of anything. So when I was in that relationship and that nigga was doing fuck shit, I was like, okay, so now you gonna pay for my time. You pissed me off today, send me $300 so I can go have fun with my friends. And that's how that relationship ran. And it was not healthy. After that relationship, I don't give a fuck which niggas, you happy, or you gonna come to me angry and upset and bitter and miserable because you're unhappy? Keep that shit away from me.
My thing is this, if I may.
Go ahead.
Shit. That plant unraveled after all this time. I can't believe it. Melly, the one with the point on it unraveled. The one right here that's been pointy the whole time for the last 5 months, it unraveled.
Yeah, 'tis the season. The weather's changing. But that's the first side of it.
Very quickly, to speak on that and the money thing. And Rich, you can jump in it, because I know you had something you wanted to say. Don't we think the entire, like, the ladies in the society right now, they're valuing money big time. And that's, it's like money is a big thing. I asked on the internet the other day, I said, what's the sexiest thing a person has said to you? And 9 out of 10 responses was, check your Cash App.
But see, that's whack shit. But that's not. But this is what I'm saying. That's like fucking homeless shit. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Listen, I don't even want to go down that road, because this is why I said earlier, our morals are low and our standards are low. So that means that you can be bought. That means that your companionship has a $sign and a dollar amount on it. I say the things that I say because I've been through the things that I've been through, and I'm saying to y'all that shit is not what you think it is.
This is what I was talking about with them thinking masculine, because that's a masculine trait, to go get it, to go get money, to build, to do those things outside. And to me, the sexiest thing would be about something with how you feel, right? Something that made you feel good, something inside. And the woman responded with the yearning for cash.
Yeah, like that shit is
that
not
diva
okay.
Shit that
Ayanna was talking about. Yes,
what she said.
But then on top of that, I said on the show so many years ago, like, why is my daughter calling me? $50,000 a year man and a $50,000 a year woman together, that is $100,000 household. We're talking about bringing shit together. Why can't we just build shit together? It's like, no, I have an MBA and I make this amount, so I want a man to make the same amount of money. That's fine. But is that nigga a good person? Is he a good person? Because that should be more important. In the same way I said when I met Andrew, I had a list of shit that I said that I wanted. And Andrew did not meet any of the stupid shit that was on that list. He was 10 times better than that, because who he was on the inside trumped everything else that was on that fucking list. And nobody is trying to hear me, and that's fine. Eboni K Williams, she can date who she want to date. She can have whatever standards that she wants to have. What I didn't like is I don't feel like she stood 10 toes down on what she was saying.
I think she did.
I don't. I feel like
She found something.
I feel like because the heat was on, she framed it differently than your initial response and body language. Your response and body language to me was like, I'm a lawyer. If he on the bus. And then once the heat was on, it was just like, I want more for black men and black people, and I want us to aspire to ownership because I think that ownership is more important than driving a bus because then somebody could take your job away from you.
How do you take that? How do you take that from that one moment in her, like, she said that and she never said anything else to Ilyana?
What I'm saying, I'm talking about, I'm saying how I perceived it.
But you're making a whole thing around it. You're like, she did this and then she did that, and then she tried to make it like this and the other, but none of that actually happened.
That's not what I said. I said
that's
that
how you're perceiving it.
I said after the heat was on her for that little clip when she said if he drives the bus, and everybody was in the comments going at her crazy. I literally tweeted, I want us to stop wasting time on trying to tell people what they should and should not desire in their preferences. Like, that's a waste of fucking time. That's a non-starter. If that's what you want and you desire, you can have that. You good. You good on that. But what I'm saying is her response after that.
I know.
That
I get it.
after response.
Give Rich been laying. He's about to lay down. Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna lay down. I was gonna say, in regards to what you had mentioned earlier and what you said about women are looking for money, we've spoke about that before on my
on the Keep in Mind.
I didn't need to
podcast.
I wasn't trying to make
Keep in
I can't.
In Mind.
Keep in Mind podcast. Yeah.
Ahead,
on our show, we've definitely discussed where does your value come from for a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And women often say that women often portray that their prize is their vagina, but men are raised to believe, like we were raised to believe that our value comes from our finances. Mm-hmm. And so that's probably what Eboni K Williams, if she's raised in the same society I'm raised in, just like you're explaining that most women, they have the wrong idea of what they should find value in. But this is the world that we live in. We live in America where men, your dick game is all cool and all that, but can you pay my bills? You know what I mean?
And we're also talking to a woman that has said on this show that marrying for love isn't really. In fact, I'm not even sure if you said. I think Traum might have said it.
I didn't say that.
But marrying for love is not
the right way.
The right way to marry. It's a business relationship.
You think you should marry for love?
I am.
You marry for all right.
I am.
But
and
you're also marrying a person that can provide.
That's not the point.
If you couldn't, how would it? How happy
you are in a situation with a person that is extremely. I don't know if he's ambitious, but he's very.
Extremely.
So he is. He's ambitious.
He's ambitious.
He is a person that works harder for his family.
Very much so.
You know what I'm saying? So he protects.
And does things for his family, but also makes sacrifices.
Has a prestigious job.
It also makes sacrifices
a prestigious
for
blue collar job.
But he makes sacrifices for his family as well.
What if he made $30,000 a year?
If he made $30,000 a year, what's the question?
Are you okay with?
He's short, so
shut up.
It doesn't.
They the same height.
I'm defending him.
Shut up.
I'm saying that
we're average. We're not short. We're average.
So you
look at the statistics. 5'9" is average in America.
All right. So what's your question? Are you asking me if my fiance made $30,000?
No, I'm not even asking about your fiance. Let's make it general. If you say the person you're with, the person you hypothetically with, only makes $30,000, but he treats you amazing.
Okay.
He treats you amazing emotionally. Can't really take you out too much. Can't do too much. You know what I mean? So that's okay.
But
with
I've dated that before. I've dated men.
Where were you in your life at that time?
I've dated. Not where I am right now. I've dated men that made less than me, and I did not have a problem with if I'm in a relationship already, right? I'm in a relationship with this person.
No, you met him and like you're dating and like he can't
take me out on one date.
No, he can take you on some dates, but like say you like, oh, like, we've been talking for a year. I want to take a trip. And he's like, yo, my pockets are really tight right now. Like it's been like a year and a half. He hasn't taken you nowhere.
A year and a wait. What are you asking me? Because now
because you're saying that because I feel like a lot of people front about the fact that money is not such a major factor.
Money is a factor. I'm not saying that, right? I'm not saying that I'm gonna be in a relationship with a man and I have to pay 100% of the bills and your salary is so minuscule that you can't really provide or add anything to this house.
But he provides emotionally though.
But emotions don't put food in the fridge.
There we go.
But I'm not talking like you're talking about something that's like I see what you're trying to say, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that there is certain. You have to be able to at least take care of yourself.
She said on this
you
podcast,
can't take care of yourself.
I could take care of myself and not be able to take care of you.
You can't, but you can't take care of yourself on $30,000 living in New York City. You can't.
I don't disagree with you. I went to the extreme, but I'm just saying.
Like give me a realistic.
I'll give you.
She has said on this show. Let me just put my little thing in that. She doesn't mind a man that isn't a breadwinner, but how does he contribute to the house? How does he contribute to her?
Okay.
What's his vibe like? Does he feel like she should be doing house stuff even though he doesn't make the bread?
Right.
Like, are they a good couple? Do they complement each other in certain ways?
Yes.
So that's a point that's already been made.
I like that. By the way, that's dope about you, Deja, because a lot of women.
Daja. Everybody Deja's.
Oh, sorry.
It's
fine.
It's like a
Daja, I apologize.
Shut up.
I feel like we're all saying that wrong, by the way.
I'm saying it right.
I don't know about that because I feel like I heard her name on TV and that's not how they said it. The way you spelled it does not say Ayanla.
It's Ayanla.
If it's ILY, there's no Yan in there.
ILY. It's
IYAN.
IY.
Okay. See, you didn't spell it that way.
How I spelled it?
You said IY. You said ILY. Before.
No, I didn't.
I think maybe I heard you wrong.
What the fuck is happening?
Maybe I heard you
I
wrong.
read her book. Did you read the book?
I did not read her book.
All right.
Sorry,
I think
That means you know
Sorry
how
for
to
not
say
reading
her
your book,
name
Miss-
right? Because you read her book?
Yes, because I had to look at the shit
Ayanla.
every
She's
time.
right. That's when I was right.
Please, Dodge.
But anyway.
All right. Let's get back on track because I think this is an important conversation.
Yeah.
I do want to say again. I am proud to be a sanitation worker. It's changed my life, but I don't.
And do.
I don't.
And do.
They making money.
He make more than me. I work more hours. This is ghetto. This is what happens.
So,
I don't. Weezy talking about she makes 7 figures.
I said, God damn.
And she's like, and they was just sitting there like, I was like,
Casually.
smoked my shit. What I will say
Take
is that
my little 6 and go.
there are a lot of blue collar workers, MTA, bus driver, garbage men, policemen that have used that to provide for their families.
Yes.
I think that it's kind of a bad message. It's a lie to say that they're average when you're comparing them, when you're saying that most of the community is making $28,000, $30,000 a year. The people that you're naming are not making that.
Exactly.
They
so
are
who
homeowners.
are we talking about?
They have started to create not wealth, but some type of legacy for their families where they're able to leave a house for their children, where we're talking about most of the people in our community do not have that.
Bus drivers are definitely middle class workers, and we call them middle class average.
What I am saying, so average,
words mean things.
I just think that where she's at, she's saying that I don't want somebody in that because I'm looking for something else. I'm looking to go further. And that's fine for her. I don't have a problem with her.
I don't have a problem. I never had a problem with her personal preference for her lifestyle, what she wants, what she likes to do. That's not my problem. That was never my problem. I disagreed with the way she turned it around. The way she turned it around, because I feel like standing 10 toes down in that would be to say, like, listen, I'm a lawyer.
I'm above that.
I'm a business owner. I do not want or see myself marrying somebody that drives a bus, and that should be okay for me in my life, in the standards that I have set for my life.
I would have rather just said,
a business owner. I would like a lawyer. I would like a doctor. These are the type of careers that I think that mesh well with what I've done and sacrificed in my life. To turn it around and then like shit on the black community in a way, even though she keeps saying that she didn't do it, I'm saying that for lack of better words. It's like,
what part made her shit on the black community?
I feel like she was like, yeah, because then y'all coming home with y'all C's and D's, and that's enough for you, and that's not enough. And we are supposed to be exceptional, and we're supposed to be better than that. And we're
she was speaking about the people that were talking about her killing herself and black women this and black women that, and she was saying like, yo, y'all motherfuckers are probably the people who are talking like that and who are just being mad disrespectful across the board are people who probably have been coddled their whole life, and that's why you can't even have a real conversation about this and resort to name calling.
I would accept
words.
that even more, but that was not my takeaway of what she said, and that's just me. From my understanding of what she said and what I heard and how I felt about what she said, it was very much like, we should not, as a Black community, be complacent with being average, with being mediocre, and that is in our applauding average and mediocre jobs and livelihood is what's continuously keeping us as second-class citizens in this country. I feel like in any community, there's always going to be levels. There's always going to be the low, there's always going to be the medium, and there's always going to be the high. That is just the nature of socialization. It's been the way of the world from the beginning of time. It's not a Black thing, it's not a white thing. And I'm also not going to look down upon those that are of the lower class or not making certain amount of money, because you need that for the world to go round. If you own a business, somebody got to work there. So why are you shitting on, you talking about Black business owners? So we talk about Black business, right? The owner, if he hires Black people at this lower level, you are amassing more wealth for the Black community as a Black business owner. Somebody got to work for you. Niggas is not owning companies and scrubbing toilets at the same time. So it's like you shitting on your own employees, and that's not okay either. Not everybody is going to be exceptional. If everybody was exceptional, none of us would be. So what are we saying?
Is it the word average that we're bothered by?
I'm bothered by calling people average based off of their
average
career.
Jobs, because I would say that a doctor, a lawyer, president of a firm, those are things that are on a higher tier. Those are above average.
That's real white supremacy,
because there are less of
Why
them.
do you feel like that's white supremacy to call somebody a doctor?
They have less. Wait a minute. Y'all didn't start a whole. I'm speaking.
I apologize.
Go ahead. Can I talk on this podcast?
Nah, Rich, I'm just fucking around.
Nah, I know.
But there are the higher jobs. There are less of. There are more supporting jobs, which means that if you're looking at an employment from an employment perspective, the middle ones are the average ones. The higher ones are less average. They're more important. They're special. They're, what is the word that exceptional that she used? Those positions.
Those positions.
We're talking about positions.
She
didn't say Black people are average. She said we occupy the average positions.
Somebody play the clip. I'm gonna find it.
I have them, but wait. Go ahead, Rich. I'm not playing. I don't want to be weird.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100% that everybody can't be a doctor. Everybody can't be a doctor. They definitely got to be workers. However, I don't think that still takes away from a message that you should want to elevate past that. Granted, some people, that's what they're gonna be and that's who they are. That's their level. That's their level. You know what I mean? But be the best at your level. You know what I mean? Be the best at your level. I get, like I said, I think that just the way she said it was a little wrong. I agree with you that it is average. They call it entry level work for a reason. It's because everybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Everybody can do it.
And so this is another thing, is that we're hurt by that, right? But let's be real. Me personally, I'm always telling my girl, get a hustle. Do these things. Like I need somebody with ambition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like it when you go to the gym. I hit you when you coming from the gym. I like when you off doing some shit.
Yeah.
I like when you out buying shit. I like when you send me something that you want me to get for you. I like that shit. I want you to want some shit.
Yeah.
I don't want a person that's complacent. I don't.
Me neither.
It's not, my dick won't get hard for complacency. I like seeing people that's on some shit in some way. And so I can imagine a woman looking at a man that has that type of energy, that he's on some shit. Not that he home, go to work every day, come home, my plate's on the table, I'm going to watch fucking sports, and I'm going to do the same shit the next day. And she's off busting her ass every fucking day trying to figure out what's next. I can understand why that wouldn't be a good fit for her. I can understand it. It doesn't mean I'm shitting on him. I'm just saying, like, yo.
But that's the point. Like, you're right.
Oh.
But we're talking
about to argue.
No, we're talking about personality right now. We're talking about ambition. We're talking about who a person is internally. That has absolutely nothing to do with the position that they are in today. Because you can meet a bus driver today, that does not mean that he's still going to be a bus driver tomorrow. So if the question is, would you date a bus driver? What if the bus driver is saving up his coins to own a bus company one day? You going to turn the nigga away right now because he's a bus driver. You're not worried about his character or what he can possibly possibly do in the future. You're worrying about his position right now, and that is what's going to continuously fuck us up because we always worried about one thing that really doesn't measure up to anything. You can marry a fucking football player tomorrow. That nigga get hurt, it's raps for that nigga. Now he not a football player no more. Now what? What, you going to divorce him? What we doing?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
One, they will divorce him. After his money run out, they will divorce him.
That's a problem.
I'm just letting you know. But two, when you meet a guy and you go on a date, right?
Yes.
You get to know who he is, his personality.
Yes.
But do you ask him about his income before that? Before
His income? No.
You,
I'm going
you
to ask
about
you
his job?
I'll ask you if you're
What do you
gainfully
do?
employed. What do you do? And that's about but I'm not going to judge you off of your job.
So, all right. So you meet a guy, right?
She dated a bus driver.
I never dated a but
That's the thing.
technically
She dated a bus driver.
technically he was a train operator.
They make money. They make money.
Cool. That's a cooler position.
No, train operators make money. They get paid. They get yeah.
Bus drivers, by the way, are some miserable motherfuckers.
And fun fact, when I started dating that person, me and that person, we dated for years on and off at different stages of his life.
Okay.
When I first dated him, he worked for a nonprofit. Wasn't a lot of money in that. It just wasn't.
But that also,
when I dated him again, he worked for.
You have to always remember where you are in life. Depend on.
I've always kind of made a little bit more than him.
Okay,
but I don't care about that.
Let's wrap this
We're
up. I'm
talking
gonna give y'all both a couple minutes, 2 minutes apiece. Let's wrap this up. That's in the simplest place else I want to take this conversation. So we just going around in circles.
Can I play a video for people that haven't seen it or heard it? The second
everybody's seen it. You want the 5 minutes? It's 5 minutes.
Okay, fine.
It's 5 minutes and 7 seconds. I watched it 2 or 3 times because I wanted to get it because I was like, did she have to? Let me hear that again. Let me make sure. It was like, ooh, she didn't have to do that.
Right.
Josh.
That was mean. Yes.
Do you have what just overall as far as her message? You're saying that it had nothing to do with black empowerment. It was more about her.
I don't believe that her original statement from the Ayala interview. I don't believe that she said it with the notion of black business ownership, black empowerment. Mm-hmm. That's not what I believe. Mm-hmm. I believe that she was talking about herself and her own preference. That's it. Then she doubled down and it turned into a whole different beast of an argument. That's what I believe.
You feeling as if...
I'm feeling as if people are fronting. Your income matters. Your income matters extremely. If you were a dude that was making money and you stopped making money, things will change in your relationship. So I feel as though like what she was saying for her, great. Like I said, I don't like the way she's viewed it because she should have said it like how she's saying. She should have said, for me, this is not what I want because of where I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she made it a very blanketed statement as if everybody's living the same life and everybody's making the same amount of money. That's what I didn't like about the message. Overall, though, the message, I'm not a complacent person. So I'm not mad at her message. I think that when we sit down and say as black people, oh, we can't judge, everybody's not exceptional and all that. Chinese people don't feel that way.
How you know?
They don't. Cause I watch a lot of competition shows. I'm very big into.
I watch anime.
No, I do watch anime. I love anime. That's Japan.
Dick.
But I'm talking about China.
I don't care.
I watch a lot of competition shows. There used to be a show on Netflix called Ultimate Beastmaster or whatever.
Yes,
and you can see the disappointment in the people who are Asian and when they mess up and how they like, I let down my country type stuff.
Those are the same ones that was jumping off a fucking Brooklyn Tech roof because they got their first fucking B or C in class. But that's not healthy.
I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm just more so saying a lot of other, like, we're always quick to say, oh, we understand we shouldn't do this to black people, but other nations, they go hard to make sure that they're exceptional. And we always have this idea of not being like, it's okay to not be exceptional. I want to be exceptional. I want all my black people to be exceptional. That's just how I feel.
But
personally.
If everybody's exceptional, then who's doing the jobs that you don't want to do?
I want everybody to be exceptional. However, everybody won't be. Everybody won't be.
Like, who's gonna do? Like,
I hear what you're saying, but everybody won't be.
Not everybody is. not everybody learns the same, right?
Yes.
Not everybody can do the same things. But what we're talking about is we're talking about an influx of a community that are looking down on people that are blue collar workers. The same people that will look down on the plumber, that will look down on somebody that has a trade, that looks down on people that do other things that are exceptional. I cannot fix a fucking sink. If I watch a nigga fix, nigga, that's exceptional to me.
Can I-
You was able to master some shit. I can read a book though.
I fixed the sink during COVID and never knew how to fix the sink before. So if you put your mind to stuff, you can get it done. I want to ask you, is it wrong to, granted, I agree with you, you should have put him down for not being exceptional. However, is it wrong to encourage him to try to be exceptional?
No, I think it is wrong to impose your will on somebody else. I feel like if somebody stop. I feel like if you are somebody that is ambitious and you want more for yourself and you have named that, it is my and I'm in a relationship with you, it is my duty as your other partner to push you and help you get to the greatness in which you are. If you are completely happy and completely complacent and being able to provide for your family and being able to just wake up every day and do something that you enjoy, it is not for me to impose a will of ambition on you if that's not what the fuck you are. You gotta love people for who they are and meet people for where they are.
I like
evolution.
you. I can respect that you like
but
where
not
you are.
everybody. But that's not everybody.
I can respect that you like where you are and say this isn't for me. The life that you're willing to live is not. And I think that's what she's saying. Yeah. And I think that we are imposing our views on what she said. She said the life that you're comfortable living is not for me. She's also doubled down and said, I respect that that's the life that you want to live. It's not for me, and I don't want that around me. I want people around me and people in my community to be on some other shit. But there are going to be people that's going to want to do what you want to do. That's fine. I also want to say to combat what you said earlier is that yes, you can be a bus driver. I believe she only said 2 words. She said 5 words. I date him if he was the owner.
If he owned the bus.
She didn't say anything else in that thing. And we're all saying she meant this and she went and said all of this other shit. Hold on, not saying she
actually did a shit on him. If you think about it. She said if he owned the bus.
If he owned the bus.
There's a couple words. And she then said, yo, I didn't have a chance to say if he's ambitious, if he has integrity, or he does any other. I just answered that one thing. It's a quip. And all of a sudden people are judging my character off that one quip. I do not want to date a person that is comfortable just going for their job thing.
That's fine.
Me personally either. I want somebody that wants a business, that wants more. If you have that, we can figure that shit out together. But if you're just comfortable, she's Ayanla. I'm getting close.
You getting it?
Ayanla, yeah.
It's just the I. It's Ayanla.
Yeah,
Ayanla.
So that's the part.
I know why you say E though, because somebody, I think that clip says
It's
E.
the IY.
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
IY.
Yeah.
That's the E to me.
Yeah,
But fine. Ayanla.
Okay, Ayanla Van Zandt.
With all due respect, Queen, I don't mean no disrespect to your name. I've been fucking up your name the whole episode. I don't mean no disrespect. I'm just dumb.
No, I'm not.
Ayanla said that she's cool with him going to work and being. I know I am not.
And that's fine.
I'm not gonna lie to myself. I would like somebody that is more comfortable saying, all right, this is what I have now. I'm gonna use this to get there. And I think that that's sexy to me. That's gonna get my dick hard. Sorry.
That's
sorry.
for
I'm sorry.
you.
It's the wrong show.
I also like home. I'm a Cancer. I like home. I
just said you gotta go get your MBA or whatever it is because you're gonna be the superintendent one day.
Shit at home.
And that's something I can fuck.
It's ambitious.
Not like that.
You.
I don't like that. Anyway, what I'm saying is I am ambitious to in my career. I'm ambitious towards certain things that I want to do, but I also don't want to sacrifice home right now. Like, cool, me and Andrew, we got into like a little, not a little tiff, like we had a little conversation, right? And the conversation was based on me going back to school. And he's like, go. And I'm like, not right now. Parker is still young. I'm still getting used to this home shit. Like, I want to still be able to be there for my kid. Like, I feel bad enough that I'm not home right now. My kid calling me on FaceTime right now. I feel bad enough about that. I don't want to have to be like head in the books, in the computer. I work from 7:30 to 4:30. Then I'm in the books from 5 to 9. I don't have time to do homework with my kid. I don't got time to pick up my kid and walk with her home. I don't have time to build these little relationships. I don't got time for my nigga. I know it's only going to be temporary until I get my degree, but I'm not willing to sacrifice the comforts that I have right now. That does not make me less ambitious. That's like, give me a second.
You're adding a lot to the. It's like, yo, with all due respect to your brilliance and the way that you speak and the way that you form a thought, you're adding so much to this one little thing. That with the person that we're combating,
I don't give a fuck about that. The first clip.
Well, I do.
Why? Because there's nothing to care about there. All of this conversation should be based off the second clip in the Breakfast Club interview.
All right, so let's talk about the Breakfast Club interview.
That first clip,
let's
she's
talk about
fine.
the Breakfast Club interview.
Yes.
We already know. Half of us agree with some shit. Half of us don't.
Who's the half? I agree that she can date who she wants.
There's other people that don't. You're not the other half.
How many halves we got in here? It's 3.
It's a world.
Huh?
Get the fuck, man. Let me finish.
Math, not mathing.
The Breakfast Club interview, there seemed to be some emotion in the room.
Tension.
Beige rage.
Tension. The meter on the Breakfast Club interview
Beige rage is mad
was
funny.
named the Beige Rage.
They always do that. Envy emotion.
Did you believe that Envy had a valid argument, the way that he chose to interview her? Do you believe that there was mistakes made?
Yes, in my opinion.
Yes. There were mistakes made. Yes.
Please, go ahead.
I think although he was expressing the thoughts of other people, because he did make sure that he said that the commenters and the people, you heard a lot of people, his emotion behind it definitely seemed as though he had some type of, though he's not a blue collar worker at all, it seemed as though he had some type of emotion or feeling about it as well. And I only say that because of the fact that how much he cut her off while she was speaking. Like he, you don't think he cut her off?
Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched I watched the clip that's on YouTube. I didn't go on YouTube and watch the interview. Okay, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's different. The clip, as we know, clip life is different.
Yes, it is very
the clip
different.
is much different than an interview to me.
I can't disagree with that. So you speak on it then, since you watched that.
I feel like the floor was open.
Off to the back. Show him the bathroom.
I feel like the door was open for her to explain herself and her thought process and the message that she wanted to get across. I do feel like while she was getting that message across for the first 20 minutes of it, I don't think Envy was really sold on what she was saying at the show. I feel like he had a thought in his head of what he wanted to get off and what he wanted to say to her in response to what she said. And he wasn't deviating from it regardless of what she said in that interview. I feel like Charlamagne probably kind of felt a little bit differently after she started speaking, but I don't feel like Envy was ever swayed. I do feel like when it was time for him to let off his thought process, they were interrupting each other, and then she was quiet and let him speak, but he was not swaying on what he was saying. And I feel like she was using a lot of vernacular that was kind of talking around what Envy was saying. And it was the notion of honesty without kindness is cruelty. I feel like Envy was just like, listen, regardless of what your intentions was, your words hurt people, and it hurt the same people that are supporting you and supporting me every day.
I think that's a great Instagram comment.
Who, me? What I say?
Envy's approach. I don't look at him as the blue collar savior or the person that cares about the feelings of people that drive buses. Oh, he's like the most smug nigga, yellow belly person in the world. He comes over like that, yeah, I just bought me another house and me and my wife, we went on $17 million trip. It's like, not, yo, you live your life the way you are, but now you're angry and you're fuming and you're going that hard. You didn't know how to interview her in a better way.
I feel like he was pandering to his base. And I'm his base. Drew is his base. We listen to the Breakfast Club.
No, he's not
on
your
our
base.
Way. Yes,
you
we
listen
are.
you listen for DJ Envy?
Hell no. I listen for Charlamagne.
So you don't. He is not
but
your
the
base.
Breakfast Club, the Breakfast Club in its totality, not Envy, but the Breakfast Club in its totality.
You have to know the position you play. That didn't fit DJ Envy.
It didn't.
It came off like you felt a way
I
about
said he was
her or
pandering
something.
to his base.
It just didn't feel real to me.
He was pandering.
It didn't feel real to me. And I thought that he didn't need to speak to her in that tone. I felt that the way he spoke to her was belittling of her position. For one, in life, she is a lawyer. She can be spoken to intelligently. I think that first of all, she's a black woman. You don't. What do you need to speak to her like that for? What did she do? That was so.
Yeah,
What did she do
like
that
his
was
tone.
so? You know what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
Charlamagne's mad times had to be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
yo,
chill,
you ain't gotta
chill.
do that
Yeah,
like
he
that. Yo,
definitely
chill.
did.
Let her talk.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we ain't gotta. Let's keep it peaceful. It's just, it was unnecessary.
She's not a rapper. You know what I mean?
It was unnecessary.
And he don't have that energy for rappers. Charlamagne do, but he don't.
You understand what I'm saying?
You know how I feel about them yellow men anyway.
And you know what? I personally, I didn't call the nigga yellow belly. No, my bad. I shouldn't have said that. That was, But I think there's a way to have intelligent diet, and I learned from that interview a lot because I saw myself in that interview.
Yeah.
I've seen myself conduct myself during certain conversations in a way. In that interview, I said, that's what I did wrong in those moments.
Yeah.
Where I took the content, I went too far and the point got lost and the message got lost and the way that I chose to give it up.
Yeah.
And for Envy, you got this person on your show. This is your show. Why are you arguing with her and belittling her and telling her when she can talk and when she can't talk? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
When did it become a dick swinging contest? For me, I thought it was unnecessary.
And I think that goes back to her larger point when she was saying on Ayanla, and she was just saying like she never felt protected and provided for by men. I feel like women that show up masculine or have it's whatever. It is what it is.
I need it. I drink alcohol on my podcast. So I just want some alcohol.
I feel like women that show up in this world that are deemed to be masculine or aggressive are the women that are the least protected. And I feel like in that moment, I empathize with her the same way that I get upset at the way that men talk to me. Because it's like, oh, she masculine, like, oh, she aggressive, dodges, like, I am still a lady. Don't talk to me like that. And then when I start saying suck my dick, everybody's like, that's so unladylike. Well, y'all are attacking me. Like, and that's really what it is. Like, oh, she's aggressive or she has this demeanor about her so you can talk to her any kind of way. Nah, that's not okay.
So, I was reading your comments, and somebody said that he felt the way. Trav said that he felt the way because
she was interrupting
him.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like I recently just met DJ Emmy for the first time, like last week, like in person. I can't compare the way I met him to what happened in the interview or whatnot. He definitely seemed like a very humble, calm dude or whatnot. And I will say that.
Are you brown nosy?
No.
You sure?
I'm not kissing his ass. I'm just saying.
I said brown nosy.
No, I know
like,
that.
No, you know what it is?
Yeah, your nose is in the ass.
Yeah, all the way up.
Yeah. No.
Can you see?
I'm not brown nosing.
You gotta relax.
Do you have butt cheeks on your
I
eyelids?
do not.
Wow.
Are you sure?
Because I'm not saying anything about it. I'm saying
about the
I'm
colon.
simply saying he was a calm dude. Like I can't speak to the interview.
Did you?
However, hold on.
Right.
However, like as a person who's been interrupted during a show, like during my show and whatnot, you do tend to, because especially if their interruption is more of a counter to what you're saying, you do tend to raise your voice and get a little more excited and everything like that. And I guess that's where I would agree with you. Like you learn from that way. It's like sometimes the most powerful person in the room is who's saying less. So he could have said what he said, conveyed that message, and let her say all that she had to say. Like I agree with you 100%.
I think that Charlamagne actually did that.
Yes,
several
exactly.
times.
Yeah,
he gave little quips that went against all of those words.
Yes,
Yeah.
that you were
exactly.
saying. Little things,
Quick, fast.
and he still protected her.
Yeah.
he still made sure to uplift her. He said, "You my friend for a long time. I respect you. No disrespect. I disagree with you at that point, but this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Envy. No need to speak to her that way. I agree with Weezy and Mandy.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, and let her keep digging in a way that, if you allow a person to open their mouth, what do you say? You let them speak for long enough, they'll reveal themselves.
Yes.
Very true.
All you gotta do is let a person talk, ask the right questions. They're gonna say what they truly mean, and they ain't gonna be able to take it back.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I say that, I also look at envy. Why did this bother you so much? You even said in a minute because you let envy talk long enough, and I ain't no bus driver. Why'd you need to say that? Why'd you need to say that? I'm not a bus. The way he said it was very arrogant. I'm not a bus driver. Why'd you say that like that?
I think he was saying I could stand up for these people and not be one of them. No. Granted, it's not. I agree with you. I don't think it was the best statement to make. It wasn't the best statement to make. It comes off arrogant. I don't disagree.
He said it like, yeah, I'm saying it, and I'm not a bus driver. And I was like...
But then as envy, that's why envy is...
Which I think that he should have just remained Mike C. Anyway. Shout out to everybody that's been here with us for an hour and I believe what's this, 17 minutes, something like that. 20. Yeah, but that's with all of the bullshit that we... Oh, wait. So your girl, you broke up with her 4 weeks ago.
This is nuts.
Right before my cruise. Right before
you went on a cruise after?
2 weeks before my Uber Circle cruise. Shout out to Uber Circle cruise. Fire, dope.
Was she supposed to go with you?
No.
So you were single during the dating game and you were single during the cruise?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't.
Jeez.
No, I wasn't really single during the like I was single, but like I knew I was still trying to work on what I had going on with my shorty. You know what I mean?
When you keep saying you're single, is that to cover up all the little things that you were doing?
No, I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't doing shit.
You know, y'all was going through stuff.
No,
it's easy to say. You know, I was single. Oh, everybody. I was talking about it on the podcast.
No,
listen, I've been there.
I'm sure you have. So plenty of dudes have been there.
What are you trying to say?
Huh? I said plenty of dudes have been there. Not just you.
Why are you doing this?
Listen. I don't mind engaging. It's okay.
This is not engagement.
What is it?
He's baiting you.
No, listen, he can bait me all he wants. I'm cool.
All right, son. Y'all niggas wild.
Son,
the messiest nigga
I know for a fact my shorty's not gonna see this. My ex is not gonna see this. I said shorty.
You have a shorty?
No, I don't have a shorty.
Oh, okay.
Her friends will. That's shit that get us in trouble all the time.
I
they don't never be the person that be the friends.
You're right.
Did y'all see the young man that was murdered on the train?
Oh God, please no.
By the white Navy. What's the guy?
Marine.
He was a Marine?
Yeah. He murdered him. Why?
So this young man used to be like a Michael Jackson impersonator on the train dancing. Uh-huh. So he went on the train. He pretty much reached his ends. Like he just had a mental breakdown. He was saying things like, I can't say verbatim, but he was saying things like he's done. He can't get nothing to eat. He pretty much he don't care if he go to jail. He'll do anything. I only say he'll do anything to go to jail, but pretty much he said he'd rather go to jail, something like that. And then he was saying things that this part I don't know for sure, but I think he was saying things that I don't know if it was threatening or it seemed very concerning. If you go on any of these NYC trains, it's a lot of mentally ill people there. So yeah. I think this probably would have been one of those situations when maybe the guy was like, yeah, not today. And then whatever he said made the person get up and put him in the head in the chokehold, and 2 other people helped pin them down too as well. I think they grabbed his arms, and then
they were all white.
Nah, 1 white and 2 black, and I believe they held him down longer than
15 minutes.
Yeah, the guy who was that last guy that they had his knee on his neck.
They had his knee on his neck.
Nah, not
talking about George Floyd.
They had basically it was longer than George Floyd.
Because George Floyd was like what 7 seconds or something like 13.
Yeah, 7. Yeah,
some shit
like that. I know there was. Yeah.
What?
You know how I feel about serious topics.
I know how you feel about serious topics. I watched Amanda Seales. I saw a clip. Mm-hmm. And the person's name that passed away. Let's give him a name. He did pass away. His name was Jordan Neely. And Amanda Seales was just kind of bothered that black people didn't step up. Let's see.
Figure out why people think this is all regular or this is okay. I'm trying to understand how y'all can talk about a black man being murdered again in front of your face and be like, I mean, it's crazy on the train in New York. I cannot understand that. I cannot understand that. Someone here said we have to be the light in the darkness. Baby, we got to be the light and the lightning. Okay? We can't just like the path. We gotta smoke motherfuckers out. You can't, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
She said that.
It's not enough.
How many F's isn't enough?
It's not enough. And
Not enough.
if I'm being honest, we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. There is no freaking way in hell that I would have just sat there on that train and watched that fucking happen. Y'all are out of your fucking minds. Anybody who is trying to justify that. Anybody who watched that happen and who's seen this story and said, yeah.
What will we supposed to, if this happened the way Toro mentioned it, would you have intruded? Rich?
I mean, me personally, I probably would have been like, yo, let go of him at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, hey, yo, I think you're choking him. I'm very like.
I think it's 15 minutes. You know he's choking.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's a headlock and 15 minutes long, I'm gonna be like, yo, you're choking him. I'm definitely gonna say something like that. Situations like this are very like that shit sucks. You know what I mean? Like someone lost their life off of this, and I definitely feel as though I would because I'm a helpful person like overall. So when I see stuff going wrong, I'll be like, all right, yo, you can calm him down, but chill, like let him go, like you know what I mean, like type stuff. Like damn, that sucks. And the two people that assisted.
They are discussing criminal charges. I don't believe that they filed criminal charges.
Murder charge.
They should file murder charges.
Oh, they filed for the Marine.
They let him
for
go.
The Marine.
They let him go though?
No, they let him go originally, but then they just filed a murder charge for him, and then come to find out that his father is a retired NYP officer. So good luck.
Oh, he's good to go. Pretty much.
Dodge, what do you think? Guys going crazy in the train.
I have a lot to say, and none of it is probably the right thing to say, but fuck it.
Sorry.
There's levels to this. One, Amanda Seals, if you have never ridden the trains in New York City consistently, you cannot speak to this. You're speaking to this on a human level, which is fine. But you're not speaking to this using the right glasses, if that makes sense. The average black person, this is not fucking Gotham. Like, niggas is not Batman, bro. The average fucking person, to call upon them to say, why did y'all not do anything, is irresponsible. Who y'all need to be talking to is y'all fuck-ass, bald-headed-ass, bitch-ass mayor. Because that's the real problem. The homelessness in New York City is ridiculous. The mental illness is ridiculous. You got all of these fucking cops in the train stations posted in the wrong position. They're all by the turnstiles talking about fare evasion, and they're not on the platforms, or if they are, they're not doing shit, and they're not on the fucking train carts. All of these fucking police officers that's in every fucking train station, how is it humanly possible to even keep a nigga in a chokehold for 15 minutes? Y'all supposed to be everywhere, but y'all not. Y'all at the motherfucking turnstile. Y'all always in the wrong position. You got these fuck ass cops that are literally only protecting the state's money and not the citizens. You have never been on a train when somebody was having a fucking psychotic episode and been scared for your fucking life. But I have. You've never been on a train on your way to work 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and niggas is wilding and you don't know what to do. You don't know if a motherfucker's going to push you on the platform or not. Does that mean that he deserved to lose his life because he had a mental episode? Absolutely not. But I'm saying, as an average citizen of New York City, if I'm seeing a nigga having a mental episode on the train, I'm getting the fuck up and I'm moving to a different cart, because that shit is terrifying. That shit is high-key terrifying. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand. Like, Everybody be mad at the wrong fucking people. Y'all calling the social media to make social media do what? Call that bald-headed bitch-ass mayor and tell him to do something. The one that's putting that's taking funding out of the schools, closing down libraries, putting all this funding in the NYPD, but people still getting stabbed, raped, pushed, fucking shit slapped in your face on the train stations, and you talking to us? Like, what the fuck is we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? This shit is out of fucking control. New York City is out of control. Go on a train at 5 o'clock in the morning when you on your way to fucking work. There's people that literally sleep in the train stations. And it's like, oh yes, he was probably on the train wilding. He was probably hungry. All of these are true. And then you got all these fucking transplants in this goddamn city because that's who y'all all catering to. And these motherfucking transplants, they don't have no respect for the citizens. They're not thinking that niggas is transplants are these people that moved into the city from other places. Okay. These fucking people, like, you got a fucking Marine, like, as a Marine, you don't know that you can't put a human being in a chokehold for 15 fucking minutes?
No, he was aware.
He is aware.
Fully aware.
And your father's a retired police officer. You aware, but you also know that you're white. You also know that you're in the service. You also know that your daddy is retired NYPD. You also know that the mayor is retired NYPD, and ain't shit probably gonna happen to him. And this shit happens all the time. The New York City train stations are literally the most dangerous place in the city. Y'all niggas is talking about gang violence. Y'all talking about kids shooting each other up. Go in the fucking train stations. That shit is not okay. So I'm sorry, Amanda Seales, that more people didn't do more. But some people in this city are literally terrified. People like me that got the fuck out of this city. Cause I don't wanna have to witness no wild shit. I don't wanna have to be scared when I'm on a platform, somebody wilding down a platform, and I gotta be extra super cautious because niggas is literally pushing people on the platforms.
As somebody who lives in Long Island and I don't take public transportation like that, I totally get where she's coming from. Cause when
Dodge or Amanda Seales?
Dodge.
Try to think about the name.
No. I didn't want to say Deja.
I would have thought about it too. She's passionate. You don't want to say her name wrong right now.
Exactly. She might be like, nigga.
I just told you. I'm tired.
Daja, right?
Yes.
I totally get where you're coming from because I try not to speak too much on stuff like that because I haven't taken a subway in forever. You know what I mean? Like
that's for average people.
That's not for average people.
An average nigga like me, because I take the subway here every
That's
Friday.
for New York City people. I live in the suburbs.
Right.
Oh, you know what I mean?
I was born in Brooklyn. I only lived in Brooklyn until like 7.
Michael Jordan us.
I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know that life.
Tupac, nigga. Get out of here.
Yeah,
man. Go ahead, man.
But no, I totally get what she's saying because the few times where my mom's telling me that she's about to take the subway or something like that, I'm super fearful of what can happen.
Shit is fucking wild
yeah,
west.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, make sure you stand by the wall so nobody push you onto the tracks. I definitely say all that different stuff. So it is the Wild West. I just feel like nobody's gonna like. I didn't like when I said I was gonna step up. I didn't say I was gonna step up and grab the person off of him. You know what I mean? Like the way that Amanda Seales, I feel like Amanda Seales is often joining a lot of conversations that she doesn't necessarily need to join into. Like she's giving her opinion on a lot of stuff and telling people what they should do instead of just saying, hey, this sucks that this happened. Like to attack people and say you should have did this is crazy to me, in my opinion.
Y'all see this image right here? Mm-hmm. Look at this image right here.
That is a crazy image.
This image. Can y'all see this?
Put your hand behind the phone like this.
No, like right behind
the
it.
hand on the phone.
Yeah, there you go.
What the hell is that doing, Melly?
It's supposed to
clearing it
focus
up.
it up.
Yeah.
But you see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the most
Y'all
part.
see how y'all good with that?
Definitely got him in a whole headlock.
All this we talking about is great.
No,
it's
I'm
great
not good
commentary.
with that.
Great commentary, and
It's not
and it's
about
passionate
that.
commentary, and I agree with you. I feel like it's very sad what's going on in the city right now. It's a lot of posturing. You guys took all of the homeless houses away. Mm-hmm. You have this thing where the garbage people, they go with the police and they grab the homeless housing. They build things. They build. They put little tents up and huts, and they got all this shit. And they make us go. And we knock on it, make sure they're not in it, and we throw it in the back of the garbage truck, and we take off with all of their worldly possessions.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's what we do, right?
How you feel about that?
It's horrible. It's a horrible detail. It's a horrible detail. right? This is what they do. Police come, they make sure they're not in there. They take their shit, we put it in the truck, we go, and they come back from wherever they are, whether it's getting free food or whatever it is, and it's all going. And we're talking about shit that they have stacked up. They had file cabinets in there, all types of shit. Stay home, literally. Yeah. So you take their homes, they go into shelter, they're getting robbed, raped, beat up, all types of shit. Raped. They don't like going into shelters for those reasons. They come out, they got black eyes, they have been assaulted or something, right? Because these people, a lot of them are mentally ill. Yeah. So even if I'm mentally ill, I got to deal with somebody else who's mentally ill. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so what do? They go into the train. Ever since they started doing all that, almost in every single train car, there's homeless people. Mm-hmm. And their things are littered about. Mm-hmm. They're laying down. They sleep. They're eating. They're talking to themselves. Whatever it may be. Yeah. Right? So the city, by doing that, they've kind of eliminated for the transplants. They've eliminated the sight quality of life. They've made it the quality of life better outside. But for the working class, you get on the train.
You're dealing with all that.
And they're right there. And they made it the MTA's problem. Right? And then you have the police. And I've seen it. I've gone in the Ocean Avenue train station. And I walk in. I don't see the police by the turnstiles. You know where they are? In the middle of the platform. Yep. Just standing there. They're not doing nothing.
On their phones.
They're just chilling. I'm just like, well, this is productive. What happened to the days where y'all used to walk down, up and down, and y'all swing the little things? What happened to the days when
y'all was actually on the cars and y'all was riding the train back and forth, walking through the cars? What happened to that?
That's a whole nother conversation that maybe we should have some police officers on. They can speak about certain things.
You see the video of the police officers sleeping in Hempstead? I live by there. Yeah. So.
I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be like, not all police officers are like this, but there's reasoning for the way they do things. They have not objective directives as to the way they're supposed to think, right? So we don't know. We can talk out our ass what we want. There's some police officers that actually join the force to do good.
Yeah, very true.
But you still a pig. Anyway, sorry. Well, but this image,
that's just heartbreaking.
It is. You want to know why this image is messed up?
Look at his fucking eyes.
No, look at his skin.
That's really all it is. The white guy holding the black guy.
I can't. That's something I don't think I can stand. 15 minutes? I don't give a fuck. How? Yo, let's take him off. Yo, take him off the train. Yo, put him out. Like
if you could do all that, you could have threw that nigga off the train and let the doors fucking close.
That's what I'm saying. I would have been like, let him go.
There's so many things that could have happened that would not have happened.
You already did. You did it already. You've got him already. It's over. 15 minutes? For me,
insanity.
I understand Dodge's frustration. I understand Rich's hesitation and what is it called when you kind of don't want to go on a train or whatever. So I guess it's hesitation. It's another word for it.
I'll go on a train, by the way.
But you know, when you're talking about the uncomfortability when you say your mom's going on a train or whatever, I get it, all of that, right? But then there's this moment that I keep looking at, and I'm just like, that don't sit well with me.
And that don't sit well with anybody.
You know what don't sit well with me? Him. What made you think that was cool?
What made you think you had the fucking authority?
What made you think that was cool?
I would rather you kick that nigga in the back off the train than do that. If you have the power to do that, you could have done so many other things. You could have had that nigga in a full Nelson and threw his ass off the train if that's what you was doing. But that's what I'm saying.
So that's the problem for me.
That image looked like, if you saw Django, the scene.
When he choked him out.
That image looked just like that shit.
And this is something that you don't see us doing that to them unless they've already violated on some shit, and we're about to we're like, yo,
and we know what repercussions coming with it.
You fuck around and find out. Now you find it out. This ain't the motherfucking 19 somethings.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just be doing that to black people no more. And we just putting you back into your place. Hey, you need a little bit of a recalibration. That's the world you're living in now. You can't just be doing shit like that. Thanks. But this dude
is off your kids.
He went back there. He went back to Civil War, to that era where they could do what they want. We're property. We need to be.
He a cop kid. He probably been like that. Like, come on, son.
He was like, this is my moment. I guarantee you, he'll have a GoFundMe by the end of the week. Filled with money.
Oh yeah.
And you I hate when I see stuff like that kid Kyle Rittenhouse. And And I'm like, you're paying this kid for being a murderer, just like I'm sure if he thought, you know what I mean? It to me, it's like the people who do this, like, often in my mind, and I'm taking it somewhere else. Often in my mind, I be wondering, like, if we just minding our business, why do y'all hate us so much? Like, y'all have an obsession with us. Like to go, like, when I see like people, white people go to parties and they have the blackface, and if no black people there to embarrass. So you're just doing this as entertainment for your white people. You are obsessed with us. Like, where we're not even around and you trying to do shit that don't even affect us right now. Like,
you sound like DJ Envy right now. Okay.
I'm sorry. I do.
It's a chocolate rage.
You're up there though.
I'm up there because
chocolate rage. I like it.
It's always
really
it's always bothered me. Yeah. It's always bothered me where it's like, bro, we not even worried about y'all.
I went out of town, and I went to a gun store. It was a hunting lodge. It was in PA. And I told you about this, right? And I go up to the counter and I'm like, yo, can I see this pistol right here? That motherfucker ignored me for 40 minutes.
40 minutes? What you doing there that long?
I just couldn't believe that he was ignoring me. So I was waiting for him to serve me. I stood there patiently. I just watched as T went around me. He went to other people that walked in. And when they walked in, I said, yo, I'm next on line. I was here. He would not serve me. Until somebody came out the back. They came over. They served me. And then in the midst of all that, finally I'm getting served. I didn't even be in there no more. I started walking out. Motherfucker stared at me walk out the whole time. I watched him. He watched me out the way. I didn't even feel safe on the way out. Like, yo, this motherfucker come running out behind me. Yeah, put one in my head or something, or call his buddies like, yo, he's in this kind of truck, get him or whatever. And I was like, yo, I ain't do shit to that motherfucker. And I called Loon. I was like, yo, is it okay to hate white people? Are you supposed to hate them back?
Hell yeah.
Like, are you supposed to hate? Because they hate us. Are you supposed to hate them back? Yeah. Like, of course, when I mentioned last week, not white people. I'm talking about racist.
Right.
But
racist white people.
Are you supposed to hate them back?
I don't hate them.
And he was like, yo, that ain't really going to get you nowhere because you're going to be the one to go to jail. They're not going to come for them. They're going to come for you because that's the way of life.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way this country is built. So for you to return it is illegal. So you might as well just go about your business because you got kids, you live in a certain way, whatever way it may be. And I was just like, yo, that's nuts. As Rich was saying, they want us dead for no reason. They don't want us here, period.
For no reason.
And it's so funny because that's not true in a way. They know that they need us. Mm-hmm. They hate the fact that they need us. They hide our history from us so that we don't understand how essential we are. It's like it's like a sick obsession because they don't want us dead. They want us in control. Mm-hmm. So they pick and prod and do little things and target certain people to keep an element of fear to keep themselves in power. They don't hate us because if they hated us, they would have Hitlered us. They never did that. There's never been.
There's been black genocides.
No.
Leopold, Tasmania. There's mad black genocides.
No. I'm not talking about there. I can only speak on America, right? They brought us here for a service. They have never, ever been genocidal to us. What they have done is they have handpicked certain people to do fucked up shit to keep us subservient to them, to keep us in fear of what they could possibly do, but they have never attempted to annihilate and wipe us off the face of this country.
They called Native Americans tree niggas, and they definitely tried to wipe them out.
They wiped out the Native Americans because they wanted what they had. They wiped out the Native Americans because they wanted what they had, and they moved them into a space, into a smaller.
They only did that because of, like,
it wasn't because of
reservations only happened. Native Americans are highly connected to African Americans. Even African hair braiding, you can see Native Americans learn that.
I agree in totality.
I mean? And if you've seen the movie Revenant, they call them tree niggas. they considered black people. To them, they were like majority of them were darker.
Black,
skin.
yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Most Native Americans, they are within the diaspora as we know it.
Yes. So therefore, I don't know for a fact because neither one of us were there, but I do feel as though if it wasn't for public opinion and all that, and people trying to fight for rights by the time where after they done displaced them so many different times and all that, I think I can't remember. I think it's Francisco Pizarro or one of the explorers that was coming to America said that when they were coming to America, you could smell the smoke from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean of how many people were living here. They were genocidal.
For the Native Americans because they wanted what they had. They never treated the Africans like that because even if you go back to Lewis and Clark days, they always had a nigga with them to help them. There's always been black people assisting white people in their ascension in this country. They never did it by themselves.
I agree with that.
They never did it by themselves. They never wanted us not to be here. They wanted us as if we were their fucking dogs and cattle. They wanted us as somebody that was to work for them so they didn't have to do for themselves. They do not want to wipe black people off of the face of this country. They want us subservient to them so that they can continue to ascend. Our ascension is the prime example or is the solidification of what they hate. They don't want us to be successful. They don't want us to be educated. They don't want us to be pushed forward. They don't want us to compete with them on any higher levels. They want us to stay at a certain level, to work for them, to do for them, to be around, to watch their kids, to serve them a burger, to clean their house. They don't want us to disappear. That's the problem. It's not hate. It's fear.
This shit just killed my shit.
You started this.
Because what I really want to do is circle this all the way back around and say, so then why would we be bothered by Eboni K Williams' problem with us working those menial jobs if we know that's what this country wants from us?
Because
that's what I would do.
Fire.
But
do it.
We do need to
good.
walk into
The
part
second
2
episode
of this week's episode.
Go ahead.
No, we're gonna take a break, right?
Yeah,
we
I'm
have to
about
get
to
real
pee.
wine and pee and all that. This is horrible wine.
It's so nasty, but I'm drinking
I
anyway.
was drinking it though. I tell you. Cinco de Mayo.
I don't have time for this bullshit.
Watching.
That was
we'll be
good.
right back.
That was good though, man. That was really good. I like how you swung that back.
Melly, my butt.
Y'all, I didn't cut it off yet. Thank you guys for listening. We will be entering into part 2 of this week's episode in just a few seconds. Shout out to Air Max Rich. You killed that, bro. Did a great job.
Thanks, I appreciate it, man.
You was name dropping all types of people I ain't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't say nothing. I know what the fuck you was talking about. It's like, wow, that's an interesting name too.
What, Francisco Pizarro?
Who? Come on, you had to study that name. Wait, what?
Nah, I'm big on history.
We'll be right back.
That nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey, I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take a girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at these hoes like she don't notice. Titty sit right, that ass be poking. Sitting in the front cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D. I'm shameless, so shameless.